Hi, and welcome to whatever this channel is about. Now, I know it's been a while since I've posted, and I usually post on a different day. Acknowledge, moving on. So, social media is a weird thing, because you could just be moseying along, previewing things, and a post will pop up that's in your interest group, but the reason it pops up is because someone you know made a comment on that post. And in this case, it was a Doctor Who forum, and it was a promo for Dot and Bubble. And the actual post was for my brother, and he says, "Where were the Doctor and the companions in this episode? In particular, the Doctor is very physical, and reducing them to two-dimensional screenshots was disappointing." Well, I actually have a few answers for that. And the first is, there's precedence for this kind of thing happening. Now, in the past current Doctor Who season, there's been 3 showrunners: Russell T Davies, Steve Moffat, Chris Chibnall, and now we're back to Russell T Davies. And of those showrunners, Russell T Davies has about 6 episodes in which the Doctor is not the main focus of the story. And 3 of those episodes, him and his companion are missing from most of the story. And it is quite a little interesting thing in how that happened. Now, back when he did his first run, he had about 13 episodes per season. So he had some wiggle room to just throw in some filler episodes every so now and then. When Moffat took over, he was also mostly 13, but he slipped down to 12. So he had 3 episodes that kind of are considered Doctor Light. We'll get into those. Chibnall got reduced down to 10, and so he didn't have the wiggle room to spare not having a Doctor in an episode, which makes it weird that now in the new season, also again, Russell T Davies, showrunner, and they only do 8 episodes. He decides to spend one of those episodes without the Doctor and Companion as a major focus. You would think you'd only do that if you had more fluff space, which currently they do not have. So maximizing the time with the Doctor is most important. So let's go over those episodes. So now, the 3 I mentioned that Russell T Davies did that were both Doctor and Companion Light were the one we saw, which was Dot and Bubble. But since that's what we're talking about, we can't consider that as part of the precedent. But Blink, which is the closest analog to Dot and Bubble, was also a Doctor and Companion Light show, in that the Doctor only appeared in video until the very end. I think it was a companion that got spotted. There was an example that was mostly focused on characters that weren't the Doctor and Companion. There was also Love and Monsters, which is not a good episode, but it spends the whole time following around a group of people who are enthusiasts who are trying to identify who the Doctor is, because they just know there's some kind of time traveler, or they suspect, and they see him in the historical records, and a monster has infiltrated the group and is eating the members one by one. And the Doctor appears at the end because Rose is upset with the protagonist. As the protagonist is actually about to get killed, she yells at the protagonist for annoying her mother. I believe is how that one went. But that's another example of a Doctor Companionless episode. There are 3 more Davies episodes that were Doctor Light but had companions. And those were the last one was we saw the previous week, which was 73 Yards. And that one is very valid. The Doctor's in it in the very beginning, disappears, and doesn't return to the end. Boom. You also had Father's Day, which is a little questionable because it is actually in the first half of the series, first half of the episode, and then he gets eaten by a monster and doesn't reappear till the end. That's just the episode. And then there's Turn Left, which is a really great episode, and the Doctor is not in it. It's Donna being controlled by the Trickster, who we never really see mentioned previously or since in the series. He was a villain from the Sarah Jane Adventures, and he actually recently got re-mentioned. So I have a big feeling that the Trickster is going to be incorporated into this new series or somehow the new storyline. In Moffat's part of the world, he made The Girl That Waited, which was mostly Amy focused and very Dr. Light. He also made Flatline, in which two-dimensional beings were trying to invade this world, and in doing so they shrunk the TARDIS. So the Doctor was in the TARDIS. He had an earpiece he could communicate with Clara with, but he wasn't really seen. I wouldn't really consider that a Dr. Light episode because he is there. It's not like he's totally missing. And then there's something called Extremis, which mostly takes place in a virtual world. So we're not following the Doctor, we're following a virtual Doctor. I would not consider that a Dr. Light episode because you're really following a Doctor. It just doesn't happen to be our main one. So there are precedences of Dr. Light episodes or Dr. Companion Light episodes, especially in Russell T Davies seasons. So it's something we could see again going forward. That would not be surprising. I do find it disappointing that since they only have 8 episodes, they choose to do this. They shouldn't do it. But knowing Russell T Davies, he'll do it. So that's my thoughts, and have a good day. And actually, I have more thoughts on Doctor Who, so I actually might make a few more videos. So have a good day. Thanks.